God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to me. He answers prayer. He answers prayer. He answers prayer. He's so good to me. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to me. Good Friday morning to you. Hope you all have had a great week this week, and that you've been blessed in some special ways. This is Friday, May the 8th. Hard to believe we're already a week into May. Let me share a story with you this morning. There were two hunters. They came across a bear so big that they dropped their rifles and ran for cover. One man climbed a tree, while the other man hid in a nearby cave. The bear was in no hurry to eat, and so he sat down between the tree and the cave to reflect upon his good fortune. And suddenly, for no apparent reason, the hunter in the cave came rushing out, almost ran into the waiting bear, and hesitated for a second, then dashed back into the cave. And the same thing happened a second time. And when he emerged a third time, his companion in the tree frantically called out, "Woody, are you crazy? Stay in the cave till he leaves." "Can't," panted Woody. "There's another bear in there." Kind of a funny story about hunters, but you ever feel like fear is giving us the runaround? Fear keeps you running back and forth and to and fro, and maybe there's fear in your life that makes you feel that way. And although there are a lot of scary things going on in the world today, perhaps maybe even in your own life, God has not called us to live in fear. He's called us to stand strong in His confidence, to knowing that He's in control. He's called us to live lives full of power, full of love, and a sound mind. Dr. E. Stanley Jones, he said this. He said, "I am inwardly fashioned for faith, not for fear. Fear is not my native land. Faith is. I'm so made that worry and anxiety are sand in the machinery of life. Faith is the oil. I live better by faith and confidence than by fear, doubt, and anxiety. In anxiety and worry, my being is gasping for breath. These are not my native air. But in faith and confidence, I breathe freely. These are my native air." I thought that was really well put by Dr. Jones about how fear sort of cripples us and makes things just not work the way they're supposed to. But faith, on the other hand, smooths things out. It's the oil in the machinery that makes it work the way it's supposed to. It's the air that is more natural for us and native for us to breathe, to be able to catch our breath. The psalmist wrote in Psalm 27, verses 1 through 3, said, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though a war break out against me, even then I will be confident." Isaiah was told in 41 verse 10, "So do not fear, for I am with you," God said. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And on down in verse 13 of the same chapter, God says again, "For I am the Lord who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear. I will help you. in the 1980s, then First Lady Nancy Reagan started a campaign. It was the Just Say No campaign, Just Say No to Drugs, as a part of the war on drugs effort. Um, and there were bumper stickers and T-shirts and all kinds of things that said, Just Say No. And I think that same sentiment applies here too. I think it applies to fear in our life, to just say no to fear. Because God tells us He's going to help us. God tells us He's going to give us strength and give us wisdom and the things that we need. And God says He's going to be with us. And He's essentially telling us, just say no to fear. And so let us determine to put our hope in God today. When things get hard, say no to fear and say yes to God. When things are uncertain, say no to fear and say yes to God. When things seem dark, say no to fear and say yes to God. When things get scary, say no to fear and say yes to God. When things are out of control, say no to fear and say yes to God. The Bible tells us to lift our eyes to the hills. That's where our help comes from. And so I'm encouraging all of us today as we move forward and through another day to say no to fear and say yes to God. We've talked about it before. We serve a big God. He's a big God, and He can handle all of our worries and troubles and cares. And so it is for us to say no to fear and say yes to God, because God is so good. I love you guys. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're having a great week. And as always, can look forward to seeing you very soon. I love you guys. Until next time, bye for now.